Fit in 10 Nation, it is day 32 of the Fit in 10 challenge. Can you believe it? Day 32. We're almost at the halfway point. And people are asking me about calorie-free foods. And while there aren't really a lot of calorie-free foods, there are some things that you can have that are not very calorie dense at all. And these things include spiralized vegetables, cabbage noodles, eggplant lasagna, spaghetti squash, and maybe the best one here is shirataki noodles, which is basically just fiber. Okay, so these are great fillers to add in your diet, especially if you want to add in, like, I don't know, a low-calorie tomato sauce, and then some beef or something. You could use tofu, and then you're putting it over these noodles. Spaghetti squash actually might be the best case for this example, just out of taste. But you feel like you're getting a real full meal here, but really it's very, very low calorie and high protein. So, okay, give some of those a shot if you're looking for calorie-free food. Some other additives that can be good, that can spice up a dish, are things like cinnamon. Okay, that's calorie-free. Cocoa is basically calorie-free. Cocoa is just, pure cocoa is just fiber. And vegetables in general, especially your cruciferous vegetables, they are very calorically sparse. So, and a lot of nutrition in them. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're seeking out these foods that are going to help fill you up, and things that you can munch on that aren't going to add a lot of calories. All right. Okay. There's some things I want to mention to you guys in terms of reminders to help you to see more results. Okay, now we obviously know if we follow the numbers in our diet, we're going to see better results. But what about the training? Right? And I know I've talked about training before, but I'm going to give you four, pieces of advice, or four things that I want you to keep in mind whenever you're lifting, whenever you're doing your weight workouts, okay, to follow. And so they are as follows. When you're training, you want to train in general slower, okay, on the eccentric phase, okay, on the negative portion. So the negative portion is where the muscle's going through a stretch phase, which may not mean a whole lot to you. So let's go through some examples. Like a squat, it would be coming when you're coming down into the squat, or a lunge when you're coming down into the lunge, or a bench press when you're lowering the bar, or a pull-up, it would be when you're actually letting the bar travel away from you, okay? An overhead press would be when you're lowering the weight down, okay? So on all of these examples, you would be going extra slow during these phases of the movement, okay? This is going to make the muscle work more. And if the muscle works more, you're going to expend more energy. You're also going to cause more muscle damage. Okay, it's going to result in greater results. All right, so go slower. Go slower, okay? That is tip number one. Tip number two, full range of motion. All right, go with full range of motion. All right, so here's a great example of one that people do not do correctly, and this is or they don't use full range of motion. There's actually lots of examples, but this is a good one. When people are doing an overhead dumbbell tricep extension, okay? So they have the weight overhead here. The elbow, you want to have the elbow up here. But what will happen is they'll come up the top here. They'll come down to like maybe here, okay? When they can come all the way down here. So you want to try to make sure you get that full range of motion. I can't get down any farther than that, okay? And if you can't do that for the sustained number of reps, for the recommended number of reps, then you're going too heavy, okay? So full range of motion, okay? Tip number three, 100% effort. Now people don't really know what that, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of you don't really know what that means. So you might pick up a weight and be like, I can't do this. Or you might get to the bottom of a squat and you just can't, lift up. But I know a lot of you, I've gone through this with you, like last night, for example, and we're squatting and you can't squat, and I say, no, I want you at the bottom to push as hard as you can. I want you to push as hard as you can, everything you can. And when I tell them that, they can get up very easily. Okay, so this is really, really important. All right, there is, you have to be able to push yourself to your full capacity. Okay, and this is something that takes time to learn. I say it's odd, but it's not odd, I guess, because it's odd to me because I've been doing this for so long. But I see this all the time with clients. They don't really understand what it means to give 100%, all right? So that means exerting 100% force. Even if it's not required, still exert 100% force. Okay, you'll get better results. All right, tip number 4, watch your rest periods, all right? So whatever rest periods I give you, do not exceed those rest periods, all right? We don't want to wait too long between sets. We want to keep the intensity up. There's a happy medium with wait time between sets. All right, so make sure you pay attention to that when you look at your exercises in the manual that I gave you. All right, 6 minutes in. It is the week of quitting. Of course, it's the week of you not quitting, right? Because you're going to follow this all the way through. You're going to finish the 10 weeks. And so the message of the day is reset, readjust, refocus as many times as you need to. Just don't quit. All right? Reset, readjust, refocus as many times as you need to. Just don't quit. All right? Okay, you guys, submit and commit. Do what you got to do in this challenge to be successful and keep moving forward. I'm really pleased with everybody that's been coming out to class. You guys are doing an excellent job, all right? So keep working hard. Take initiative. Be conscientious of when you're training and make the most of everything you do in this challenge. I will talk to you guys soon. See you guys. That went really smooth if I actually went on.